God says, "Beloved soul, there are moments in life when someone begins to move closer to you in a way that feels quiet yet meaningful, as if your paths are gently aligning without force or urgency. You may not notice it immediately, because these connections do not always arrive with loud signs or dramatic changes. Instead, they appear naturally, through small moments, simple conversations, and a growing sense that something new is beginning to take shape." God says that connections are not. They form through shared timing, through personal growth, and through the way two journeys begin to meet at the right moment. When someone enters your life in a meaningful way, it is often because both of you have reached a point where you can understand and appreciate each other more deeply. Beloved soul, there may have been a time when you felt like something was missing, as if a certain kind of connection had not yet arrived in your life. You may have wondered when you would meet someone who truly understands you, someone who sees you for who you are. Yet even in those moments, your journey was preparing you, helping you grow into the person who is ready for that connection. God says that when someone important begins to move toward you, it does not feel forced. It feels natural, as if things are unfolding in a way that makes sense. You may notice small signs, like a conversation that feels different, a presence that feels comforting, or a moment that stays with you longer than usual. Beloved soul, the message you are receiving is not about rushing toward anything or trying to figure everything out at once. It is about becoming aware of what is beginning to form in your life. When you are present, you begin to notice the depth in your interactions, the meaning in your experiences, and the quiet beauty of something new taking shape. God says that meaningful connections often carry a sense of calm rather than confusion. They allow you to feel at ease, to be yourself without effort, and to experience moments that feel genuine and balanced. This calm is a sign that what is entering your life is aligned with your journey. Beloved soul, take a moment to reflect on how your life has been changing. Think about the experiences that have shaped your understanding, the lessons that have helped you grow, and the ways you have become more aware of what truly matters to you. All of this has prepared you for the connection that is now beginning to appear. God says that when you allow yourself to be open, you create space for meaningful relationships to grow. You do not need to force anything or rush the process. You simply need to remain present and aware. Beloved soul, trust that what is meant for you will come into your life in a way that feels right. You do not need to question every detail or worry about the outcome. Everything will unfold at its own pace. God says that the connection approaching you is not. It is part of your journey, something that aligns with your growth and your understanding. As it unfolds, it will bring new experiences, new perspectives, and a deeper sense of connection into your life. Beloved soul, allow yourself to receive this moment with an open heart. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to be present and willing to experience what is coming. God says, beloved soul, there comes a moment in your journey when a connection that once felt distant begins to feel closer in a way that is difficult to explain, not because something dramatic has happened, but because a quiet awareness begins to grow within you. You may start to notice subtle shifts in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in the way you experience certain moments, as if someone's presence is gently entering your life even before everything becomes fully clear. God says that meaningful connections often begin long before they are fully recognized. They start as a feeling, a sense that something is changing, that your path is beginning to align with someone else's in a natural and unforced way. This alignment does not require effort. It unfolds gradually, allowing both of you to move toward each other at the right pace. Beloved soul, there may be moments when you find yourself thinking about someone without a clear reason, or feeling a sense of comfort when you imagine a certain presence in your life. These moments are not. They are part of the way your awareness begins to recognize a connection that is forming. God says that when someone important begins to move closer to you, your perspective often starts to shift. You may feel more open, more understanding, and more willing to experience your life without overthinking every detail. This openness creates space for the connection to grow naturally. Beloved soul, you may also notice that certain interactions begin to feel more meaningful than before. Conversations may feel deeper, moments may feel more genuine, and your experiences may carry a sense of warmth that stays with you. These are the signs that something real is beginning to take shape. God says that this stage of your journey is not about rushing or trying to define everything immediately. It is about allowing the connection to develop at its own pace. When something is truly meant for you, it does not need to be forced. It unfolds in a way that feels right. Beloved soul, take a moment to notice how your heart feels. Notice the calm, the openness, and the quiet curiosity that may be growing within you. These feelings are part of your readiness to experience something new. God says that connections are built on understanding, on shared moments, and on the willingness to be present with one another. As this connection begins to grow, you will find that it brings not only new experiences, but also a deeper understanding of yourself. Beloved soul, trust that what is forming in your life is happening for a reason. You do not need to question every step or try to predict what will happen next. Simply allow yourself to experience the present moment fully. God says that the connection approaching you is aligned with your growth. It is not, and it is not without purpose. It is something that will continue to unfold in a way that feels natural and meaningful. Beloved soul, as you continue moving forward, you may begin to feel a quiet sense of trust within yourself. A trust that allows you to open your heart without fear, to experience moments without hesitation, and to move forward with a sense of calm. God says that this trust is what allows true connection to grow. When you are open and present, you create space for something meaningful to develop. Beloved soul, allow yourself to stay in this moment. Let the connection unfold without pressure, and trust that everything is happening at the right time. God says, beloved soul, there comes a moment in your journey when the connection you once only sensed begins to feel real in a way that touches your heart more deeply than before, not because something dramatic has happened, but because the presence of this person starts to become more clear in your life. What once felt like a quiet possibility now begins to feel like something meaningful that you can recognize and experience. God says that this stage of a connection is not built on sudden changes, but on small moments that begin to carry greater meaning. A simple conversation may stay with you longer than expected, a shared moment may feel more genuine than usual, and the presence of this person may begin to feel comforting in a way that is natural and unforced. These are the moments where connection becomes something real. Beloved soul, you may begin to notice that your thoughts are changing. You may find yourself feeling more open, more calm, and more willing to experience your life without overthinking every detail. This shift is not. It is a sign that your heart is beginning to recognize something meaningful. God says that when a connection is real, it does not create confusion or pressure. It brings a sense of balance. You feel at ease, able to be yourself without trying to meet expectations or force outcomes. This ease is what allows the connection to grow in a healthy and natural way. Beloved soul, there may have been a time when you questioned whether you would experience a connection like this, when you wondered if someone would truly understand you. Yet now, as you reflect on what is beginning to unfold, you may start to see that something is changing. It may be subtle, but it is meaningful. God says that as this connection continues to grow, you may begin to feel a sense of trust forming within you. Not a sudden or overwhelming trust, but a quiet confidence that allows you to open your heart step by step. This trust is what helps the connection deepen over time. Beloved soul, you may also notice that your interactions begin to feel more natural. There is less effort, less uncertainty, and more understanding. You are not trying to control the connection or define it too quickly. Instead, you are allowing it to unfold at its own pace. God says that this is what makes a connection strong. It is not rushed, and it is not forced. It grows through shared experiences, through understanding, and through the willingness to be present with one another. Beloved soul, take a moment to notice how you feel when you think about this connection. Notice the calm, the curiosity, and the sense of possibility. These feelings are part of what makes this moment meaningful. God says that your journey has been preparing you for this experience. The lessons you have learned, the growth you have gone through, and the understanding you have developed have all brought you to this point where you are ready to experience something deeper. Beloved soul, trust that what is unfolding is happening for a reason. You do not need to rush ahead or try to predict what will happen next. Everything will reveal itself in its own time. God says that the connection you are experiencing is not. It is part of your journey, something that aligns with who you are becoming and what you are ready to receive. Beloved soul, allow yourself to stay present in this moment. Let the connection grow naturally. And trust that it will continue to unfold in a way that feels right. God says, beloved soul, there comes a moment in your journey when the connection that once felt like a quiet possibility becomes something real and steady within your life, not because it rushed or forced its way into your world, but because it was allowed to grow naturally, step by step, moment by moment. What once felt like a feeling or a subtle awareness now becomes something you can truly experience, something that begins to shape your everyday life in a gentle and meaningful way. God says that when a connection becomes part of your life, it does not feel overwhelming or uncertain. Instead, it feels calm, balanced, and natural, as if it belongs there. You are able to be yourself without hesitation, and the connection itself feels steady rather than confusing. This is what makes it meaningful, because it supports your growth instead of creating pressure. Beloved soul, you may begin to notice that your life feels slightly different, not in a dramatic way, but in a way that brings a sense of comfort and understanding. Moments feel more complete, conversations feel more genuine, and your experiences carry a depth that was not there before. This is the result of allowing something real to grow in your life. God says that true connection is not built on perfection, but on presence. It grows through shared moments, through understanding, and through the willingness to be open. When you allow yourself to be present in this way, the connection becomes stronger and more meaningful over time. Beloved soul, there may have been a time when you doubted whether something like this would happen for you, when you wondered if you would ever feel truly understood. Yet now, as you reflect on what is unfolding, you begin to see that everything has been leading you to this moment. Your experiences, your growth, and your patience have all prepared you for this. God says that as this connection continues to develop, you will begin to understand its purpose more clearly. It is not only about companionship, but also about growth. It helps you see yourself in new ways, understand your emotions more deeply, and experience life with greater awareness. Beloved soul, take a moment to appreciate what is becoming part of your life. Notice the calm, the understanding, and the sense of balance that this connection brings. These are the signs that it is aligned with your journey. God says that you do not need to rush ahead or try to define everything immediately. The most meaningful connections reveal themselves over time, allowing you to experience them fully without pressure. Beloved soul, trust that what is in your life now is there for a reason. You are not missing anything, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, experiencing what you are meant to experience. God says that as you continue moving forward, this connection will continue to grow in a way that supports your path. It will bring new experiences, new understanding, and new moments that will help shape your future. Beloved soul, the most important thing you can do is remain present. Allow yourself to feel, to experience, and to appreciate what is unfolding. This presence is what allows the connection to deepen. God says that your journey is not, and the people who enter your life are not. They are part of the path you are walking, contributing to your growth and your understanding. Beloved soul, allow yourself to fully receive this moment. Do not question it or hold back from it. Simply experience it with an open heart, knowing that it is part of your journey. God says that what is unfolding now is only the beginning. There is more to experience, more to understand, and more to grow into as you continue moving forward. If this message touched your heart, type Amen in the comments and share this message with someone who believes in meaningful connections.